Hey guys, I'm going to try a little bit different video today. This is going to be a tutorial beginner's pick set. Here I have 3 different sizes, the most common sizes of windshield wiper insert. The first being from a smaller car, 2-door sports car, little rice burners. It's going to be good for top of the keyway tensioners, not so great for pick making, not enough material there. The largest is going to be from your larger trucks, vans, and SUVs. It's good for making rakes and a lot more material to work with there, more room for error. We're going to be using for the beginner's pick set the most medium sized. Usually find it on 4-door sedans and smaller trucks like F-150s and Rangers, because it makes good handles for bristle insert, my favorite type of budget material. It's virtually the same width, although the thickness is of course thicker on the stainless steel. This is going to be a 4-piece pick set. This is my first piece, done beforehand. The other 3 pieces are going to be hooks of varying steepness. The first one, of course, just a regular short hook. I'm going to make this one pretty steep. The reason that I like sweeper bristle as opposed to windshield wiper insert, the main reason, better feedback. Better feedback because it's more rigid. More rigid because it has more carbon. You'll notice that stainless steel, the stainless steel wiper insert, barely any sparks, and the high carbon throws them. Throws a lot of them. We zoom in a little bit. Little bit closer. Okay. You don't want to linger too long in one spot. Dips fairly frequently. You don't want to build up heat that can make the high carbon steel want to bend on you. It'll curl up. The thinner your pick gets, the more you want to not linger in one spot. The thinner it is, the less material you have for diffusion of the heat. It's going to collect easier. You don't want to burn the steel and ruin the temper of your material. Okay, we have a good looking short hook going here. Once you get the inside curve where you think it looks pretty good, and there's a slight taper, I have a slight taper up toward the handle side, flip it over. Pay special attention to, and you may want to use a very light pressure to take off this burr. Pay special attention to this tip. You can pry it off really easy. Do not make the tip of your tool thinner than the shaft. This is the part that's going to be interacting with the pins. I'm going to give them all round tips. And it's easy to do. It's easy to make them thinner than they need to be. Okay? There we go. It's a pretty good, nice looking short hook. A little bit longer. Alright. Our next hook is going to be less gradual than this. Still start toward the tip. I do anyway. Now another reason anyway that I like the street sweeper bristle over the wiper insert is material consistency. A windshield wiper, different brands are going to vary in the percentages of elements that are used in the steel. Not that that's so important, but what is important is the manufacturing tolerance of the material. Take into consideration that all it has to do is be stainless, not rust up, and just hold its basic shape for wiping the water off your window, whereas street sweeper bristle is going to be held to a much higher standard, since it is being put to work scraping crud off asphalt and concrete all day long. In fact, I find when you get a new piece or a good piece, it's virtually indistinguishable from HPC spring steel of the same width. And that's good. Of course, the newer that you can find it, the better that it works. But if you can find a decent piece on the street, it's going to be infinitely better than your more mediocre wiper insert. Not to say that there aren't good wiper inserts, or that you won't happen upon good wiper inserts, but not as frequently. Okay. Hook number 2. You can see a little bit less, or a little bit more gradual, less steep. Looks like it's uncurling. This last one is going to be the least, or the most gradual, I should say. I start away from the tip to get the curve going, and that helps establish the spacing for it. For me, visually, this is going to be more along the lines of a straight pick, much straighter. You want the spot where the curve begins to be much less distinct than on the first two. It's going to be a similar type function pick to a Peterson reach. It's going to get under low pins nice and tight keyways. Probably repeating myself, but very light pressure. Remove the burr. See your true edge. Special attention to the tip. That's about right. Round it off. Okay, I'd say we got 3 good looking picks right here. I usually take sandpaper to them a little bit, but I don't have that kind of time. You'll notice it looks like the hook is uncurling itself, as I've said a few times now probably. Here's your beginner's pick set. Find a lock to test it on. Master lock or a quick set's good. Maybe you like Schlage, but this is going to be your initial testing lock. If it doesn't work past this, you need to go back to the wheel. Because if it won't crack open a master lock, it won't open jack. Ooh, real hairy burr left on this one. Hopefully I can beat the YouTube 10-minute mark on the